Okay, let's unpack this. That dilemma is basically at the heart of this brilliant new research paper we have today by Dr. Tin Lin Phio, who is an associate professor at the Department of Oriental Studies at Bago University.
It's a fantastic paper.
It really is. So our mission for this deep dive is to explore the magnificent Shwegugyi Pagoda, which translates to the Grand Golden Caves, right?
Yeah, exactly. It's located in Bago, Myanmar.
Right. And we are going to look really closely at the escalating challenges of protecting this ancient ruin, specifically from natural disasters, inherent design flaws, and, human exploitation. So let's start with that conception then. This whole story traces back to a highly ambitious ruler, King Dhammaceti, who was widely known as Dhammaceti.
Right, a very significant historical figure.
Yeah, he ruled the Hamthawadi kingdom, which is modern-day Bago, from 1472 to 1492. But what makes him fascinating to me is that he was an ex-monk. When he ascended to the throne, he wasn't just interested in political conquest or expanding borders. His primary goal was to emulate the great King Ashoka. He basically wanted to solidify and elevate Buddhism in his kingdom to an unprecedented level.
The goal was to bring the exact spiritual weight of India's most holy sites directly to Myanmar. So in 1472, he commissioned this highly specialized mission. He sent a delegation all the way to Buddhagāyā in India.
And Buddhagāyā being the site where the Buddha is said to have attained enlightenment, which, that is no small journey in the 15th century.
Not at all.
The king essentially sent a team to download the blueprints of India's most sacred sites. And they didn't just build a single pagoda. Dr. Tin Lin Phio's research notes that they painstakingly recreated the Satthana.
To King Dhammaceti, you couldn't just build a homage. The physical dimensions themselves contained the sacredness.
I see. So King Dhammaceti mandated a massive, state-sponsored crowdfunding campaign. He ordered the highest levels of society to basically open their coffers. Princesses, government ministers, viscounts, village heads, they were all required to donate their wealth.
And we are talking about highly liquid, tangible wealth here. According to the historical records from the research, they raised 350 pieces of gold just for the Mahābodhi pagoda portion of this complex.
Myanmar is in a region that gets hit with driving, torrential monsoon rainfall.
Exactly.
It's like building a gorgeous multi-tiered wedding cake right in the middle of a rainstorm. Why build an intricate inner gallery, all these empty internal voids, if you know you live in a monsoon zone?
Because the architectural fidelity completely superseded local environmental pragmatism. In a massive heavy masonry structure, structural integrity relies on solid, load-bearing walls.
Dr. Tin Lin Phio's research points out a massive tragedy that occurred in the late 1980s. These tiles became a prime target for international smuggling rings.
Exactly. Thieves literally ripped these 15th century artifacts right off the weakened walls, slipped them through underground smuggling routes, and sold them into international art markets abroad.
Here's where it gets really interesting, but also just enraging. It's not just Mother Nature erasing history. It's international art markets treating a sacred site like a retail store.
It forces us to ask how we assign value to historical artifacts,
Yeah, totally.
When an art collector in Europe or North America buys one of those smuggled tiles at an auction, they are buying a beautiful, isolated, aesthetic object to just put on a mantle. But when that tile is ripped out of the wall in Bago, it loses all of its context.
Just a random tile now.
Right. You aren't just stealing a piece of art. You are destroying a historical text.
It's like you pull a paragraph out of a novel, and suddenly neither the paragraph nor the novel makes sense anymore.
That's a great way to put it.
There is, however, a silver lining here, though it is a complicated one. Through the efforts of local authorities and archaeologists, some of these ruined glazed ceramic plaques have actually been recovered.
Thank goodness for that.
Yeah. But because the original walls are actively collapsing, they couldn't be safely reattached.
Right.
So they are now systematically protected and displayed at the Archaeological Museum in Bago.
Which is a necessary intervention, obviously, but a melancholy one. The temple itself has lost a visual language that it will never get back.
Yeah.
But that tragic loss of the glazed tiles is exactly why the archaeology department took drastic measures to protect what was left at the site. Because the most critical foundational text at the Shwegugyi Pagoda isn't the ceramics that were stolen.
The Ajapala inscriptions. This is where the research gets incredibly profound. So, directly in front of the main pagoda, the Department of Archaeology has actually constructed these designated protective sheds. Dr. Tin Field's research gives us the exact date these were commissioned.
Yes, King Dhammaceti commissioned these on a Thursday. Specifically, Thursday, the 5th waning day of Waso, in the year 841 of the Myanmar era.
Wait, really?
We have a highly specific temporal anchor for these stones. And for epigraphists, the scholars who specialize in decoding ancient inscriptions, these slabs are a total linguistic goldmine.
And the Mon language is one of the absolute oldest recorded languages in Southeast Asia. Its evolution is essentially a skeleton key for understanding the history of the entire region.
Yes, exactly.
So by studying the Ajapala inscriptions, scholars can literally map the precise syntactic structure of Middle Mon exactly as it was spoken and written in 1479. It's like a linguistic time machine.
And what the research reveals is a deeply sophisticated literary tradition. The text utilizes complex grammatical structures, employing compound verbs that demonstrate just a massive lexical richness. Pali being the foundational language of many early Theravada Buddhist scriptures, and Sanskrit being the dominant classical language of the broader South Asian intellectual world.
King Dhammaceti wasn't just importing physical architectural blueprints from India.
Well, as we discussed, local authorities saved some of the beautiful glazed tiles by removing them from the collapsing ruins and putting them safely in the archaeological museum in Bago. We put the stone inscriptions under modern protective sheds to shield them from the rain.
Right.
But at what point does saving a site require us to completely dismantle it?
Oh, wow.
If, hypothetically, we move all the heavy inscriptions, peel off every remaining tile, and take every sacred stone into a climate-controlled museum vault to perfectly protect them from the monsoons and the smugglers, are we actually saving the Shwegugyi Pagoda, or are we just cataloging its autopsy?
Man, if you remove everything that makes the site what it is just to keep those individual pieces safe, are you saving the patient or just preserving the bones?
Exactly.
That is a haunting question, and exactly where we will leave it for today. Thank you for joining us on this deep dive, and we'll catch you on the next one.